As the title suggests, this video is about my experience being long-term sick in the UK. I work for a major large company called FedEx, and many of you would know it because it sponsors a lot of events in sports in particular, such as Formula One, and in the past also tennis and a handful of other major sporting events. And I've been contracted with this company since the 8th of November 2025. And as soon as I walked into the job, I realized how physically demanding the job was because you would have to load and unload containers containing hundreds and hundreds of parcels. So you would constantly have to bend over and to pick up boxes and parcels, and then you would have to get them off the van, and then you would have to repeat the process over and over and over. And it was just a very, very physically demanding job. And after a couple of weeks, I was physically shattered. I was fatigued. I was tired. I was in pain. I had bruises around my arms from lifting things. I had cuts around my fingers because the gloves they provided me, I lost one of them and they didn't provide me a new pair. So it was just a very stressful and painful experience to the point where I pretty much had to call in sick. And because of the stress of the job, I couldn't even walk a flight of stairs. That's how tired I was from the job. And ultimately, from that, it progressed on to me experiencing nightly palpitations. So I would wake up and my heart would be racing for no apparent reason. And eventually, that was sorted by me taking high blood pressure medication, and subsequently I developed dizziness, which I'm still suffering to this day. This was back in March, where I was in bed and one evening I was feeling just unusual sensation in my forehead, and I woke up and I was feeling unusually low energy, lethargic. So I decided to get some fresh air, and when I went to walk, I was feeling a sense of imbalance, unsteadiness, weakness, and suffice to say that the walk didn't last long. I tried to persevere, but I realized this is not normal. I shouldn't be feeling like this. Even if I was tired, it's not normal symptoms of tiredness. And from then, I developed on to be referred to the cardiology department from my primary care provider. And I've had some tests. I had an echocardiogram, urine. I'm waiting for a heart rhythm test now. But the cardiologist so far hasn't really noticed anything particularly wrong with me, so I'm still not sure what the dizziness has been caused by, and what's causing these symptoms to persist. Because I'm still sleeping too much. I still feel a sense of low energy and lethargic particularly when I'm standing and walking, and I also sometimes I still realize that I have got a hint of unsteadiness and weakness, which makes doing manual tasks particularly challenging. And but here in the UK, talking about the finances, obviously you're not on full pay. You either the base rate for sick pay in the UK is at the moment £123 something. So that's how much the minimum that an employer has to legally pay the employee. And obviously there's a limit to that. The employer is only obliged to pay it for up to 28 weeks, and then after that you're pretty much left with nothing. You're on your own unless you apply for benefits. And I already live in a house where there's other disabled people in a family with other disabled people, so that's not gonna work for me. I'm not gonna get any more benefits because they already get enough. I mean, benefits are calculated on a cumulative basis in a household, and there's a certain amount that each household can claim before it's exhausted. The claimant allowance is exhausted, and so now I find myself in a limbo with my health, isolated and socially withdrawn because I don't have any jobs lined up. I don't have any family that I can rely upon, that I can trust to think about my well-being, my welfare. So it's been very stressful, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be a light at the end of the tunnel, as the British would say, and that is very makes me feel angry. That makes me feel just impatient because I want to find a solution, and hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna get some answers soon by some through some, at least with regards to my dizziness when it comes to other challenges, such as finding a sustainable job that I can do, that I can feel a sense of reward in doing, and also having better people around me, because right now I live around disabled family members, and they can really weigh you down because they don't offer you any support. As a matter of fact, sometimes they make you feel it feels like they live in a sense of hostility towards everybody because they're not happy about they're not happy about their circumstances, and there's a saying that miserable people love company. So, but let me know your experience of being long-term sick, how it's impacted your family life, your social life, your finances, and that's it for now.